Picture this. You apply for a loan and get rejected, not by a banker, but by an algorithm that can't explain its decision. You're arrested because a predictive policing AI flagged you as high risk. Your social media feed is curated by a machine learning model designed to manipulate your emotions. This isn't the dystopian future, it's happening right now. The AI takeover isn't robots with guns, it's silent, invisible control woven into the fabric of our daily lives. And the scariest part, most people don't even realize it's happening. You're walking home when the police stop you for questioning. You don't know it, but an algorithm tagged you as likely to commit a crime before you left your house. This isn't paranoia, it's predictive policing, where AI analyzes data to guess who might break the law. Departments claim it reduces crime, but the reality is messier. Take Robert McDaniel from Chicago. Police showed up at his door after an algorithm labeled him high risk. He wasn't arrested, but officers visited him weekly for months. McDaniel had no violent criminal record. The system flagged him based on his friends' arrest histories and neighborhood crime rates, data that often reflects racial bias more than actual danger. Studies show these tools disproportionately target Black and Latino communities. One analysis found predictive policing systems repeatedly sent officers to majority-minority neighborhoods, creating a feedback loop. More policing leads to more arrests, which the algorithm then uses to justify even more policing. The problem goes deeper than flawed data. These algorithms can't explain their reasoning. In one test, a system misclassified people as high risk for trivial offenses, like riding a bike at night. Police departments use these tools across dozens of cities, yet audits are rare. In some cases, systems have mislabeled innocent people as gang members based on vague criteria like social media posts or clothing colors. These decisions shape lives. Some prosecutors have argued for harsher sentences using risk scores from systems like Compass. Investigations have shown these scores falsely labeled Black defendants as future criminals far more often than white defendants. Even when outcomes matched, the algorithm couldn't say why. Judges used the scores anyway. Now consider what happens when courts and cops outsource judgment to code. Research shows predictive policing tends to focus on low-income areas while ignoring white-collar crime, not because it's less harmful, but because the data favors street-level offenses. It creates a world where AI decides who gets monitored, who gets jailed, and who walks free. Police departments defend these tools as efficient, but efficiency shouldn't mean automating bias. Why trust algorithms to predict crime when they can't explain their choices? And if this is how AI handles policing, what happens when it controls other parts of society? Your financial future might already be in its hands. Your bank account gets frozen, your loan application gets denied, your insurance rates go up. You assume there's a logical reason, but what if the real explanation is lines of code you'll never see? Financial institutions now use AI to make life-altering decisions, often with zero transparency. A nurse applies for a mortgage and is rejected. When she asks why, the bank says their algorithm can't explain. It just flagged her as high risk. Credit scoring systems like FICO already use machine learning, but newer AI models go further. They analyze everything from your shopping habits to your social network. Studies show these systems frequently deny loans to people with thin credit files, disproportionately affecting young adults and immigrants. The problems multiply when AI incorporates alternative data. Some models assess risk by looking at your friends' credit scores, your grocery purchases, even how you scroll on banking apps. Experian's Boost program examines utility bills, while startups like Upstart use thousands of data points, including your college major, to predict reliability. But these systems often replicate existing biases. One report showed AI loan algorithms approved white applicants far more often than Black applicants with identical financial profiles. Mortgages are just the start. AI sets prices for everything from car insurance to healthcare premiums. One investigation found auto insurers charge drivers in minority neighborhoods significantly more than identical drivers in white areas. Not because of accident rates, but because the algorithms associated zip codes with risk. Similarly, hospitals use predictive analytics to prioritize patients, sometimes deprioritizing those deemed unlikely to pay. Consumer protection? Nearly non-existent. Regulatory agencies admit they struggle to audit these black box systems. When researchers requested explanations from fintech companies, most either refused or offered meaningless technical jargon. Lawsuits reveal startling cases. One woman discovered her loan denial stemmed from an AI misreading her part-time job as unemployment. Banks argue AI makes lending more efficient, but efficiency without fairness creates traps. If you're rejected, you typically can't appeal to a human. Worse, some systems actively hide their logic. Now consider where this leads. If AI controls who gets housing, who gets medical care, who builds wealth, without oversight, what stops it from locking entire groups out of the system? The next frontier is even more personal: your career. You spend hours polishing your resume for the perfect job. You hit submit. Within seconds, an AI scans it and rejects you. No human ever sees your application. This happens millions of times daily. Over 80% of large companies now use AI hiring tools. The systems promise efficiency, but they're riddled with flaws. Take Amazon's recruiting AI, scrapped after engineers discovered it penalized resumes containing the word women's. Or Unilever's system that analyzes candidates' facial expressions and word choice during video interviews. Some systems have rejected applicants for arbitrary reasons, like too much hand movement or not smiling enough. These systems often filter out capable people for irrelevant reasons. One engineer was rejected because his resume lacked exact keyword matches. Another applicant discovered her resume was discarded because she listed community college before her university degree, misleading the AI into thinking she wasn't educated enough. Research shows these tools disproportionately harm marginalized groups. One study found major hiring AIs penalized non-native English speakers for minor grammar errors, even when the candidates were highly skilled. Others downgraded applicants with employment gaps, disproportionately affecting caregivers and people with disabilities. Companies rarely audit these tools. Many don't even know how their own systems work. Some vendors claim their algorithms are proprietary secrets. One company admitted it didn't realize its AI was rejecting all applicants from certain zip codes until a lawsuit exposed it. We're outsourcing career-defining decisions to systems that can't explain themselves. Simple hiring algorithms have been shown to develop unpredictable biases, favoring candidates who used specific verbs or formatted resumes a certain way. Yet companies trust them because they're fast, not because they're fair. This is the frog in boiling water scenario in action. Each small surrender of judgment to AI seems harmless, until we wake up to a job market where algorithms decide who gets opportunities and who gets left behind. And if we accept this in hiring, why stop there? The next frontier is even more consequential: democracy itself. You scroll through your feed unaware that every post is handpicked by an AI designed to manipulate your emotions. This isn't just about ads, it's about elections, protests, even revolutions. Social media algorithms don't just show content. They amplify what keeps you engaged, regardless of consequences. During the US election cycles, Facebook's AI prioritized divisive content because it sparked more reactions. Internal studies revealed the algorithm pushed angry posts far more than calming ones. In countries like the Philippines and Brazil, AI-driven disinformation campaigns have swayed millions of voters by flooding feeds with fake news. The tactics are sophisticated. Political operatives have used AI to generate thousands of fake profiles, each tailored to different voter groups. These bots don't just spread lies, they create personalized narratives, memes for students, conspiracies for seniors. Psychological effects are well documented. One experiment found people exposed to AI-curated news developed more extreme views within days. Another showed users couldn't distinguish AI-generated propaganda from real news over 60% of the time. Governments are weaponizing this. In Myanmar, military officials used AI to amplify anti-minority hate speech before genocidal violence erupted. International investigations found Facebook's algorithm played a major role in spreading incendiary content. We're outsourcing democracy to systems designed for profit, not truth. Social platforms have promoted fake stories hundreds of thousands of times before human moderators intervene. These aren't bugs, they're features. Engagement-driven AI will always favor outrage over nuance. Now ask yourself, if AI can swing elections without breaking rules, is democracy already compromised? We don't need robot overlords when algorithms quietly shape what millions believe. The real question isn't whether AI influences politics, it's whether we've already lost the ability to tell. This isn't about killer robots, it's about algorithms making life-altering decisions before we realize they're in charge. Your loan rejections, your job prospects, even your political views, shaped by AI with no accountability. The takeover happened while we weren't looking, embedded in systems we use daily. Police departments trust crime predictors they don't understand. Banks deny loans using secret scoring models. Employers let bots filter resumes without audits. Social media algorithms manipulate elections by amplifying division. The threat isn't some sci-fi rebellion, it's the quiet transfer of power to machines governing our lives. And the most disturbing part? You didn't get a warning. You got a push notification. Would you even realize if you weren't the one deciding anymore? You didn't sign a contract, you didn't vote, you just clicked, "I agree." And with every scroll, swipe, and silence, power slipped quietly out of your hands. Like a frog in warming water, you never notice the heat rising. The water feels just right until it doesn't. By the time the frog notices it's dinner, we're the frog. We're not just in the pot, we built the machine that turned up the heat.